Welcome, guys. It's Andy here from D6 Evolution, along with Lewis. This is awesome. They've changed rapid-fire weapons for Space Marines and Chaos bolters.
Yep. It's the better bolter beater rule.
Say that quickly, yeah.
I'm not going to say it again.
So this is huge. It's just come out, and this is just a quick video, really just to go over what are the winners, the really big winners from this change. And I think it's a really big change for a couple of armies out there, and we're just going to go over what they are really.
Sure.
So let's quickly kick off, and let's talk about exactly what the new rules are.
So basically, it works on all bolt gun weapons. That's everything that has the bolt in the name, and it clarifies it. And I would check on the Warhammer community so you know exactly what you're talking about. But combi bolters, storm bolters, bolt guns, obviously, bolt rifles, you name it, anything that's got bolt in the title. And on the rapid fire weapons only, so it doesn't affect obviously heavy or pistols or anything else. And basically, originally, obviously, the rule for rapid fire weapons is that you get one shot at maximum range, or whatever the shot profile of the weapon is at maximum range. And if it's within half range, then you get double that shots. But if it's rapid fire, one at 24 inches, standard bolt gun, one shot. Obviously, at half inch, you get two shots. All they've changed in the rule, really, a little buff to improve it, and I think it's not going to hurt anything. It's only going to improve anything. Is that they've made it so that if you remain stationary, you get your double shots at maximum range. So, for example, if you've got a 24-inch range and you don't move, you'll have two shots at 24-inch range. Secondly, they've made it so that anything with the Terminator, vehicle, Centurion, and bike keyword, they get it double shots at maximum range all the time, regardless of whether they moved or not. And then the third part, that was just the same as it was before. So at half range, you always get your double shots. So it's a slight little tweak, nothing groundbreaking, but could see some play in some armies. So if you want to talk about the Imperium side, Andy, and then I'll talk about the Chaos side as per usual, and we'll see what we think about it.
Right. So real winners with the Imperium, and this is what I'm excited about. So number one, I think the guys who use the most bolter shots is probably Deathwatch, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I played Deathwatch at the weekend, the tournament, Bad Moon Cafe tournament. I just want to give a shout out now. That is one of the best venues I've been to for Warhammer. So if you get a chance, if you're in London, to go to Bad Moon Cafe, it's just opened. It's a fantastic venue.
And why was it such an awesome tournament?
And maybe because I won it.
Yeah, there you go.
It was just a really good venue. Great bunch of guys as well. And they're going to run quite a lot more tournaments this year. But in the last round, I was playing Daniel Usadin, and again, shout out to him. He's a really good player, and he was playing Deathwatch. Very similar list actually to the list that we were talking about on the channel in the last video. And I tell you what, if he had 24-inch rapid fire on those combi bolters, it might have been a bit of a different game. So the fact that he was re-rolling all hits and winning on a 2+ and stuff, and then having full rapid fire at 24 inches, that would have been a big difference to his list for sure.
So my thoughts with this is that it's not a major game changer for Deathwatch, because essentially you only get it on the kill teams when they drop in, they count as moving. So they're still just effectively going to be, the normal rapid fire. So if they're in half range, they're going to be getting double the shots. But that becomes the main problem with them, is that you can screen Deathwatch, can't you, when they drop in? So just
a quick question though. They have normally in a veteran squad, Vanguard squad, sorry, whatever. You have a veteran squad, I think it is. You have a Terminator in there. Do they gain the Terminator keyword?
No, they gain specific abilities from specific units in there. So for having a Terminator, you gain Fearless, for example.
Okay, but you don't.
So I don't think it's a major game changer for Deathwatch, but I think it's a little bit more efficient, because after the turn after they've dropped down, they're going to be getting rapid fire at 24 inches as opposed to 12 + 6 at 18, assuming they're moved.
And they're putting out like 30, 40 shots as well. And bear in mind, the reason we jump on Deathwatch, is because they have the special ammunition on the bolt guns. They have like the wound on the 2+ thing. They're re-rolling one, so their bolt gun shots are really good. They're not just standard bolt gun shots.
They're amazing.
It's the immediate force, absolutely.
And if anyone wants to know more about Deathwatch, we've done a really good in-depth sort of tactical video with one of the top Deathwatch players in the UK. We've just released that, so I'll put a link in if I'm at all technically minded. Hopefully it'll appear just down there.
Yeah, he's a good player, and that's he's got, I guess, a good proper rundown on that list. If you're interested at all, that's a good video. I would recommend it.
Yeah. So moving on. So I think the Terminators are a winner. Anything which makes Terminators better is cool by
Yeah,
Cool by me.
absolutely. I'm a big fan of Terminators. I was playing the Sinesh Terminators at the start of 8th. I moved on to the Blight Lords now. I must admit, coming from the Heretic side, I play a lot of Death Guard, so I'm kind of used to having the 18-inch on the rapid fire, and it does make a difference. You come out of with Terminators, obviously, you come out of Deep Strike, and you get screened out 9 inches. The thing you want to hit is another 4 inches back plus a base space. Sometimes it is just outside 12, and all of a sudden you're doing 1 shot instead of 2. And you want to be chucking veterans on those guys and popping that stuff off. So the fact that you have that extra 6 inches with Death Guard, I found makes a big difference in a lot of games. To have another 6 inches on top of that with anything is a huge difference. So yeah, they're trying to make Terminators come back, and they're slowly getting there.
They are.
I feel like the same with the Imperial Fist. If we come back to the Imperium side, like they keep every now and then give a little tweak to Imperium Fist, a little Vigilance detachment, a little change to here, there. The bolt guns now. I think like there's a prospect where the Imperial Fist could start doing well with these kind of changes. So.
I think everything got a little bit better with the Crimson Fists. They got a good White Dwarf supplement, didn't they? Where they were getting +1 to hit, aren't they? And then they get exploding. They get exploding 6s as well, I think.
Yeah, that's the
their
Imperial
bolter
Fist
drill.
one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Do you combine those two with a 24-inch range? That's absolutely fantastic. And obviously you could do that with the Primaris as well, with the Stalkers, which is I think the Primaris are probably the true winners there, aren't they? Really?
Is that the bolt rifle, which is -1, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's also 30-inch range. So the thing is, your intercessors there are just sat there. They don't really want to move anyway, and all of a sudden they're 30-inch range. They're shooting 2 shots. So yeah, I think they're a big win.
And I think intercessors with those weapons, which are Deathwatch, are even better again because then you've got the special issue ammunition just makes bolters amazing. So I think that anything which is Deathwatch or the Heretic Astartes version of having awesome bolters is Thousand Suns, isn't it?
Thousand Suns, Scarab Occult Terminators. They're pretty cheap now, 327 points or something like that, for a squad of 10. And having the AP -1. Also, I think you can make an AP -2 as well. Drop those out of Deep Strike, 24-inch rapid fire on that. You're going to be taking out what you want to. The thing with the Thousand Suns, one of the problems with bolt guns is only strength 4. It's kind of like the standard strength, not quite enough. Knights, it's winning on 6s. Most of the stuff it's winning on 5s. It's not great, but strength 5 would be better. The AP -1, the AP -2 is good. But obviously with Chaos, you can make up that with Veterans of the Long War. So what you'd be winning on 5s, you're winning on 4s. What you'd be winning on 4s, you'd be winning on 3s. So if you can get around that strength issue, then actually you've got an AP -2 bolt gun that's throwing 2 shots at 24-inch range, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's a nice buff. It's well received units for sure.
Yeah, right. So just quickly, the other things I think are major winners here is Dark Angels. I love my Dark Angels. It is Dark Talons in particular. These guys, these are a flyer which wants to stay in buff range of like Talon Masters, Samael, Dark Shroud, but inherently it's got a weapon which it wants to use at 12 inches. This Hurricane Bolters to rapid fire. Now the fact you can use those at 24 inches, or if you're just towing up to 18 to get your Rift Cannon in range, I think that's absolutely massive. Because one of the problems was you're effectively like suiciding your Dark Talons into the enemy because you're getting them so close just to get
fire, just to say, obviously, remember that's because it's a vehicle, so it gets it all the time. So it's only infantry that doesn't have to move. Vehicles get it all the time, just fly around.
The other thing which is massive is Ravenwing Bikers. In fact, any Space Marine Bikers, because they're bikes, those bolt guns on the front, 4 shots now, you're not, again, getting into that range where they're not so good. Because the thing with bikes is they can't fall back and shoot usually, and they're not very good in combat. So actually being that close to enemies was one of their inherent weaknesses, but was the place where they're the most effective. So I think the fact they get that at 24 inches now is massive.
They've just, I think they dropped some points in chapter approved as well, and it's just you start thinking like a min unit of 3 before was not really kind of useful, but now you're thinking, okay, you know what, the min unit of 3 fly out, 14-inch move, auto charge, auto advance for another 6 inch, so you've got 20-inch move anywhere on the board with 4 shots each at 24-inch range. Like it's kind of worth. I think I can't remember how many points, 80, 90 points or something. I always feel like points. I mean, like that. If you need to fill out a fast attack slot, or you just need a little bit of board presence, that can be worth taking now.
So do you know what else they get instead of the bolters on the front? The sergeant can also take a storm bolter as well.
Right,
and he's a biker, so yeah,
exactly. And honestly, I don't know. Is storm bolter 2 points the same as a combi bolter is? Yeah, I mean it's just no brainer really. Like
So you're actually becoming suddenly very, very efficient even at long range, and these guys need to be at long range. At
That's
short
14-inch
range,
bolt gunshots. At 24-inch range can be anywhere on the board. Nice size to the bases as well to block stuff up. Like you talk about move blocking knights, push those up, put them sideways, 1, 2, 3. You move block to knight.
So the other thing which I think is a real winner is one of the new Vigilance formations lets certain Primaris Space Marines, doesn't it? It lets them auto hit with their bolt rifles.
Okay, I'm not too hot on that, so explaining
essentially it's one of the generic Vigilance detachments for Space Marines.
I just skipped that whole section. I was like, where's the chaos? Oh, right, none.
So they've got 2 basically. So if you make a squad veteran intercessors, they can... Essentially, they've got 2 stratagems. 1 CP, they can make all of their weapons rapid fire 2, all their bolt weapons. And they've got another one where they can make them auto hit as well.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, so you don't roll a hit, automatically hits, and then you just roll to wound.
Yeah. So they've got essentially double the number of shots at long range now. So again,
so just on the intercessor squads, is it?
Yeah, veteran intercessor squads.
Nice. Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah,
is it 1 CP? Cool. Is it?
Yeah, so it'd be trouble is things like this end up stacking up a lot of CP in general. So I mean, it's okay.
One to make it a squad, 1 to then give it that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as good as you think it is, but actually, if you're running it, it's a nice little buff. Go on, buddy. Let's quickly talk about the chaos.
For me, I'm not too much excited. The Terminators, Scarab Occult Terminators, obviously was definitely something to think about. Don't forget your Rhinos. Anyone that's playing Rhinos, whether you're Death Guard, World Eaters, obviously use a lot of Rhinos. You have 2 combi bolters on there. It's always worth paying the 2 points for the extra combi bolter. So late game we were using those to hold objectives or to move block or whatever. Having that extra range, those shots they do count. They do add up. One thing actually I did come to mind. I don't know if you mentioned it. It's the Custody. So the Custody jet by the Hurricane bolters. Did they not get it?
Nope, because they're not Adeptus Astartes.
Oh, okay.
I know. I was really bummed out. I really wanted my entire army to just be.
I mean, that would have been a little bit broken. But yeah, I think it's Thousand Suns for the win on the Heretic Astartes side. Death Guard kind of already had at 18 inches, so it's a nice little buff. I'm not going to complain, but it's not making a big difference. And the rest of your CSM stuff. Do you know what? The first thing I straight away got the chaos went to Noise Marines, because I was thinking, but then obviously they're assault weapons anyway, and they're not shotguns, so they're not getting it. So yeah, I haven't seen anything particularly fantastic, but it's still welcome on the vehicles as and when. Oh, the only thing that actually would make a difference on is the Predators. 3 kill shot Predators, absolutely still a very competitive part to a list. Always worth the combi bolters on the top of those things, because the kill shot works on the combi bolters. And the problem with those is it was generally 1 shot, because they've not be way out. 1 shot at max range, just plink it off. The 2 shots is going to make a little bit of difference. So yeah, nothing major, but nothing to smirk at either.
Yeah, so in summary, I'd say the main winners from Imperium would be Deathwatch number 1. It's just a little bit of an inefficiency because they move when they drop in anyway, so they don't get it there. But the turn after, because they're so slow, that's when they're going to be getting the benefits. Terminators win, and I think Dark Talons are now very competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And from your side, it's just going to be Thousand Suns, really. Thousand Suns,
Terminators, and the regular infantry as well. But the Terminators, I think, are a bit better just for coming out deep strike and being shoot at 24-inch ranges. And they're just the little combi bolts and everything they have on all the vehicles anyway.
So, awesome. That's just a quick little video. And we'll be back soon with Lewis, and we're going to be talking... what are we talking about next, buddy?
We're going to do pre-planning as our next in the series of the 40k, how to be better at 40k.
Yeah, that's going to be good, so don't miss that. All right. No. And if you haven't already, guys, subscribe to the channel. We do regular tactics content on this channel. It's all aimed at trying to make you a better 40k player. And hopefully I learn 1 or 2 things as I'm going along with this. Mainly Lewis telling me things.
Switch on your microphone.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.